Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. What's going on, y'all? It is your girl, Ray P, back for another episode of the We Got Y'all podcast. But I am here surrounded by one of the pillars of my village, somebody
Mhm.
that is in my community, which is so important. A love letter, not necessarily to Harlem, but to Toledo
No
in the
doubt.
great state of Ohio, a relationship that goes beyond multiple state lines. I'm here with Kyron Richardson, aka K Rich. What's going on, friend?
Yo, the intros have been legendary, Rachel. They've been legendary.
I figured we
I
could end on a lovey-dovey note.
Yeah, no doubt. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. It's Black History Month. It's Romance Month. We got the end of Harlem. So yeah, I think Lovey Dovey is fine. It's appropriate. Shout out to you. Big part of the village, like
For
huge part of the
sure.
village, man. Y'all know I don't play about Ray P at all. Not even a little bit. Um, yeah, don't even bring that shit to me. So, with that being said, shout out to you. Shout out to you for being so accommodating this weekend. Speaking of villages, our village got together to celebrate two of our members,
Yeah.
this past weekend and a couple birthday celebrations, and things got out of hand quickly. Um, I'm 38 years old. Not that that's old by any means, but it is too old to be doing 21-year-old shit.
Yeah.
Drinking multiple times at multiple places in one evening after dinner. Um, it's not. It's just not. I'm not about that life anymore. I don't have that. As they say, I don't have that to do. Every now and then I try, and I think there's something. It's funny because How I Met Your Mother did an episode. I don't know if this is a real term or a made up term, but there was an episode where um, Marshall and Lily were hanging out with some woman that Lily was cool with in college,
Mm-hmm.
and Lily reverted back to college ways, the way she
Yeah.
talked, her slang, and all of that stuff. And they said
Uh-huh.
like, "Oh, when you get around people from certain areas, you revert back to that."
For
And that's what
sure.
it felt like. It felt like I reverted back to college because I was with college friends. We were
Mm-hmm.
kicking it. Woke up that next morning. Excuse me. Woke up that next afternoon to multiple phone calls. Like Rachel's message was, "Are you safe?" First, I got the eyes, the side eyes emoji, not the side eyes like bad, but the two eyes that are looking like you could. And then I
Yeah.
got the "Are you safe?" And I'm like, "Hold on, what?" And I looked at the phone, talked to Rachel, like, "Yeah, let me get my notes together." I'm slurring, according to Rachel, and Rachel did the big dog shit. I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna holler at you tomorrow, my nigga. We can
That's
reschedule
it.
this."
That's it.
And I needed that. I needed that. But with all that being said, as Rachel mentioned, thank you for coming back. We
For
got
sure.
y'all. We are here to talk about the finale, the final two episodes of the entire series. It's crazy to think when you look back that there was only 24 episodes of Harlem.
Yeah.
But they really did a great job with this last six. We are talking about Fear Factor and Dear Harlem, episodes 5 and 6 of season 3. Fear Factor was directed by Tasha Smith. It was written by Britt Matt. The synopsis: Quinn faces a reality check that disrupts her fairy tale. Can't wait to talk to you about that, Rachel. Um, Camille works on her book while managing Quinn and Ian's expectations. Angie gets praised and has a date with Mike. A baby shower unites friends and community. And then we have the finale, episode 6, Dear Harlem, directed by Shea William Vanderpoort, written by Ayanna Bird. Synopsis: Camille completes her manuscript in the finale. Ty works on the Eva situation. Quinn sets relationship limits. Portia breaks up with Ian. Angie faces opening night pressure but succeeds, and Quinn ponders a new path. Ray P,
Yeah.
you watched these two episodes. What were your opening
I
thoughts?
I did. First off, before I even get into that, I have to shout out Tracy Oliver. We've talked about it,
Mm-hmm.
but the fact that they only got 6 episodes for this third and final season is absolutely criminal. But she and all of the writers on board really wove together a beautiful story. There is so much on the table, but what we were given, they did it beautifully. And I just want to shout them out just because bravo, what a phenomenal
Listen,
series. Thoughts. Okay, so
real quick,
oh
I
yeah,
just
go
have to say, just to piggyback on that, I think the most difficult thing for a show is to stick the landing. I
for
just
sure.
really think it's hard to do it, especially when you got your fanfare.
Hmm.
Um, Even our namesake, we had discussion about that final season and just the way it went. Now, maybe the benefit was you didn't have as much to tie up, But I
Mm-hmm.
think Tracy Oliver always knew what the story was about and what the core was and how it was going to end.
For sure.
And the happy ending that we all wanted, needed at this time, I think it was great. So incredible. And I just can't overstress how good the ending of
For
the show.
sure.
Final
For
six
sure.
episodes were, in my opinion, probably the six best. There's
Of the
others
series.
without the first two seasons, but just
Yeah.
in a row, like there no
For
misses, no
sure.
skips. Every
For
single
sure.
episode made sense, easy to digest. I loved it. My fault, Rachel. Open the
No,
thoughts.
you're good. And to your point, with only getting 6 episodes, there is no room and time for a filler. So
Mm-hmm.
every episode really packed a punch. So
Mm-hmm.
that's that. I watched episode 5, Fear Factor, in the airport. My flight was delayed, and I'm like, I have an extra hour to sit here. I was in Hartsfield Jackson Airport in Atlanta, boo hooing at the gate.
Mm.
I was ugly crying. I know them.
Yo, I know somebody was looking like she good.
I know them people. Somebody, you all right? I'm okay. Just watching a show.
It was probably like, what show was that? So I don't watch that shit.
Okay. I was boo hooing, could not pull it together. And maybe it's just a culmination of many a thing, but episode 5 specifically really, 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 really did me in. But beautiful, but did me in. Dear Harlem, a love letter to the city, to the group, to the community, to baby girl. It was beautiful. I was
It
really
was.
happy to see a nice bow. Um for everybody. We were right about some things, we were wrong about some things.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Fair enough. You were.
what are your thoughts?
I was gonna say you were right about one big thing, for sure. You saw it coming a mile away, and it
Yeah.
looked so. Once it happened, it was like, all right, I should have seen that too.
Yeah,
My opening thoughts. Bravo, bravo to
for
Tracy
sure.
Oliver, the entire cast and crew. Like you said, it's very difficult to wrap up a story in 6 episodes, especially when you only have 30, 35
Mhm.
minutes per episode. I just felt good watching them, right?
Yeah.
And I I said it before, and I think maybe our first episode of this season, we weren't the most glowing about Harlem.
Yeah.
Not we never once called it bad or anything of that nature. It felt like they had more potential, right?
Mhm.
Had more potential to do things, and I think somehow, some way, in a beautiful manner, they kind of found what their sweet spot was
Yeah.
when they kind of got rid of the fillers. And
Mhm.
but even then, right? The last 2 episodes were about reflection, and I go back and reflect on the first 2 seasons, and I'm like, you
Mhm.
know what? This wasn't bad television at all.
Not at all.
Like I said,
Not at
we discussed what was going on and watching other shows at the same time. But it wasn't bad at all. There were some memorable moments. Harlem is going to be a show that I run back. I'm
For
going to run
sure.
this back the entire
For sure.
series. Um, and kind of, I always talk about shows where it's like catching up with old friends,
Mhm.
right? You know what I mean? You see, you just want to check in, see what they're doing, even though you know what it is. But that's usually how it is in life, right? You friends doing the same shit for the most part. um, but I'm going to catch it, check in, watch it. I loved every second of this entire season. It made me appreciate the first 2 seasons a lot more.
For sure.
And like I said, it was a happy ending that we all needed. Like I expected it. I didn't want any kind of drama or any kind of fake deep shit or what life is like this sometimes. Like we get enough of that. So to
Yeah.
see everything come back together, I thought it was beautiful and it was much needed, and I was very pleased with everything. I'm curious to know what you were ugly crying about. I think I have the idea of it, but we can go ahead and get into the show. So who do you want to start with? Where do
I
you want to start?
actually want to start with Ty.
Okay.
Yeah, Ty is a bit easier to sort of wrap up in these last two.
Now, I'm sorry. I just have to say this.
Uh-huh.
Ty is the one character that needed some more episodes.
For sure.
And the reason why I just talked about happy endings, right?
Mhm.
Ty, your behavior did not warrant a happy ending for you. I'm sorry. You weren't vilified. You weren't justified until
Yeah.
you did some more work and some more correcting yourself. in
Mm-hmm.
regard to that. You did that's some big shit. And I get the mama angle and I get all of that, but for Ty to pull up to the, I don't even know if it's leaving the restaurant. I think it's the
It was
lie,
across the street from the baby shower.
which was the restaurant.
The restaurant. Yeah.
Why she take a cab?
What do you mean?
She
She
got she
said
let she,
she
go
left.
ahead, go ahead.
Ty drove to the shower and left. They
But
were
she
across
pulled
the street.
but she pulled up to the restaurant in a cab and got out, saw them, and then got back in the cab.
Oh, you're right.
I don't know if it was across the street or not.
You're right. You're
Either
right.
way,
Uh-huh.
they're shopping for sheets. Things are getting serious. Let's set up the situation.
Yeah.
Things
Yeah.
are getting serious. Eva wants Ty to meet her mom. Ty is avoidant, which
Mm-hmm.
is on brand for her. We've known that who Ty is, and
For sure.
as she told even when she first met her, I ain't shit. Like I'm not shit. So this is a dangerous path to follow. If you want to do it, at least I know I absolve myself for any bullshit because I'm telling you up front what it is.
Yeah.
Let me ask you real quick. I don't think it was odd, but I'm curious to get your opinion. Baby showers are very intimate.
Mm-hmm.
Were you surprised that Eva wasn't invited to the baby shower?
No.
Okay, neither was I. But I
Mm-hmm.
was curious if that was a thing. Because like I said, they're very intimate. You don't just be randomly inviting your plus ones.
Right.
Um, Ty pulls up, like I said, in the cab,
Mm-hmm.
sees. We had a lot of discussion about whose Ty parents were going to be. Shout out to Robin Givens
Yeah.
playing Eva's mom. Listen, that scene in the hotel when Ty stopped her, Robin Givens had that shit on. I'm looking like, oh, she fly as fuck. Like she got the beret, she got the coat, all of that. It's Robin Givens. When Ty leaves, she pulls up, she leaves, and lies via text message.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing worse than being seen, thinking you haven't been seen, but you've been seen.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Why lie when the truth will do? What did you think about the whole scenario? And Eva pretty much saying, fuck you, Ty. This is the
Yes,
second time she's played her that we know of
for sure.
in a
So,
disrespectful manner.
in a very disrespectful manner. So even just to back it up a little bit, and here is where I shoot Ty a little bit of bail,
Mm.
just a little. For Eva to know how skittish Ty is, I didn't think she set her up well to meet her mother. If you know that I haven't done the meet the parents, I'm usually out like a thief in the night before we even get to anything remotely close to meeting the family. You can't tell me, oh, yeah, my mom hates everybody, especially if I know that I've been a fucked up ass person. If you're telling me out the gate that I am going to initially be psychoanalyzed by your mother, which is already added pressure, you got to give me something else. You can say you're going to meet my mom. I want you to meet my mom. We're going to do a nice formal or semi-formal or informal dinner, just so she can see who I've been talking about. Don't set me up for failure and added anxiety to be like, oh yeah, she hates everybody because they are the exact same type of person that you are. Don't do that to me. That's added pressure. That's the only grace. Ty handled it all wrong for sure. But I think that Eva could have, knowing who and how Ty is, set her up a little bit better than that. And then coached her into, you know what, my mom is a therapist. Let it flow after the fact. But don't present me to your mom and be like, or don't present your mother to me and say, oh yeah, she hates everybody because of all of these characteristics that you very clearly have. And expect me
Very,
not to become nervous or anxious.
very good point. That you're right. So you're right. Those are things you share after the fact. Don't set up any. I'm big on no expectations
For
in
sure.
certain areas, in certain things. Just because, like you said, Rachel, people act differently when they know. You know what I mean? The best way to see somebody is by not looking at them.
For sure.
As
For
they say.
sure.
So the only thing that and it makes sense, everything you said was perfect. The only thing that I push back on is Ty. Just say you ain't ready to meet her moms.
That part.
That's
That
all.
part.
Like, just I'm not ready for that yet. I'm not ready for that. Like, as much as I care about you, I got some shit I need to figure out. I thought Ty was on the one issue, I guess, the complaint about Ty the entire series is her self awareness. She's very
Mhm.
self aware when it comes to her career and who she is from a confidence standpoint, but her fucking up and her behavior. Or
Mhm.
maybe she was very aware of it and didn't care. But now we started to see Ty care a little bit more.
Yeah.
And we started with the whole celibacy thing. And I thought she might have been in the space to accept what she was ready for and what she wasn't. And it would just been easier to be like, you know what, I'm cool like on that right now. I want to do
Yeah.
that. I'm honored, but I don't know if I'm ready for that step. You just told me your mom hates everybody. I told you early on I'm fucked up. I got shit with my family back home. Like, I don't want to. I care about you so much. I don't want to mess this up. I'd rather meet her when I'm ready. Now, not everything can work on your timetable. It would have been okay to say. I think Eva would have understood that and then maybe rolled it out. But what you're saying is 100% right. Eva, not Eva. If I'm
Mhm.
dating you, if I'm not dating, don't hit me with the yeah. My mom hates everybody, but I can't wait for you to meet her. What?
There is a way to do that. There is a way. It cannot be. My mom hates everybody. Hey, want you to meet her tomorrow.
Right.
I give everybody friend, platonic and romantic. RP Senior is a motherfucker.
Hey man.
So there is a forewarning that goes with a okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you this real quick. Just to give you a heads up. Yeah,
She's
that's 100
tricky,
percent right.
but
Yep.
I'm not giving you that upon entry so that you are now on edge.
Right.
So that is a conversation that I believe Eva could have massaged in or woven into conversations with Ty about her family, because even only just now finding out that she's a psychiatrist at this juncture, that's a little late in the game. Like, let me have been preparing for this. That's my only thing, especially for both parties to feel what they feel for each other.
Nah, that's a fact. I just think about where I am in adulthood because not once have I ever went shopping for sheets with a woman. We ain't never just sat down. We never laid in the bed and just try to figure out what sheets feel the best. Like this, it's
Yeah,
so adultish. You know what I mean?
for
So
sure.
adultish.
For sure.
What did you think about Ty pulling up to Eva's job after after no responses to the text messages and phone calls? Pulling up to the workplace is a whole nother level. That can get you. That can get you on a
On
block
a watch
list.
list for sure. I
Yeah.
mean, dare I say, come see about me. Pull up on me.
Yeah, maybe outside the job, maybe in the garage or something like that. I don't know if I'm walking in the meeting.
I don't know if I'm walking up on somebody in a garage who may or may not be hostile towards me. Um, Here's the thing. The work her coworkers may or may not know that they have been dating, but they do know that there was a partnership there. So I understand why Ty says, "Hey, I can go to this building and I can get in
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
there is a relationship there, not just with you." Tricky,
Ty was
but
trying
I
to have her.
understand her thought process there.
Yeah, Ty was trying to have her. You had me at hello moment.
Exactly, exactly. And I appreciated Eva for standing on business. Like, I'm cool.
Yeah.
I don't like what you did. You're a liar. You told me the red flags. I act like I didn't see them, and as somebody who's guilty of said behavior, I appreciate you being like, you know what? I heard you. I acted like I didn't, but now I cannot block it out any further. It is what it is. I see you. I know who you are. I'm fucking cool.
hmm
Shout out to Eva.
Eva said, "I'm good on
I'm
you.
good on you. I'm good on
Don't even
you, and
worry
I'm
about
good
it.
on this. Don't worry about
Don't
it,
worry. Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
sweetheart.
Don't worry about it."
Don't worry
Um,
about it. And Ty was shook. She can't handle that.
nah, nobody. Because the thing with being Ty, is somebody who is maybe shared a personality trait with Ty once or twice.
Hmm.
Handle the situation similar ways, but not that situation, but just in general, I can understand how Ty thinks.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't know until you in it,
For sure.
right?
For
You don't
sure.
even know. Sometimes you don't even know what a person means to you until you in it. And it's like, oh shit, and that's scary. I think that was scary for Ty. I think she even admitted as such. But you gotta grow up. Just
Mhm.
like Ian got the speech from Aunt Tammy, you gotta grow up, my nigga.
Yeah.
This is what it is. Because if you're not ready, stay on your track of celibacy and kind of figuring things out until you're ready to pull someone in. Because once you in it, then there's more feelings involved. And shout out to another movie that we're gonna be doing on Culture Garden. Like, did you even care about me? Or was this one really big
Mm.
one long one night stand? Like, is
Yeah.
that what this was, or what's going on? Because if you're gonna make that decision and you shopping for sheets, then you got to be ready to tell your girl the truth and everything else that comes with it.
For sure.
It's funny because you talked about hostile people in the garage. It made me think of shout out to the agency. I thought about Martian and Go in the garage
Mhm.
and what happened there. So you might be right. You don't want to pull up on people in the garage. Um, People already feel unsafe,
For
and you know
sure.
they might have that thing on them or something else on them. So watch out. Now with Ty, she did show that effort. Too little, too late for some, but she did
Yeah.
show that effort and pulled up at the hotel on Mrs. Lewis. First and foremost, the patience that it would take to just hope that you run into this person in the lobby. I don't know what your schedule is. I don't even know if you're still here. Maybe she knew, like, hey, my mom flies out Wednesday morning. She was like,
Mhm.
I'm just gonna sit here Wednesday morning, pulling up on mom's after bailing on dinner with her.
Crazy.
First of all, could you imagine if that happened to RP Senior?
Ooh,
Would
baby.
she be hearing somebody out? And what did you think
No.
about that whole scenario? Not to mention, she won her. We didn't see the car ride, but she won her over to the point where Eva pulled up on Ty at her spot to hear Ty out,
Mhm.
and obviously ends with a proposal and everything else. Um, One condition: got to see your family in Georgia.
Yeah.
Have to. I appreciate that from Eva. But that whole scenario and the ending for those two, along with pulling up on moms, what you think about that, Rachel?
I yeah. I
Desperation, man.
Yeah, desperate times call for desperate measures. I appreciated the pull up on mom because not just do I need to get Eva back, but I also owe you an apology. Like as an adult,
Yeah.
I need to come to you face to face and give you that. Um Obviously Ty in the car told her mother that she was wanting to marry her, how she's changed her life. And I think that Ty is genuine in all of that. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to say it's too little too late, but I do think that the proposal was too early. Like we might need a second to work some things out. We back together for sure,
Yeah.
but I don't know if we are immediately after this immediately ready to jump the broom. You know what I'm saying? And maybe I'm a grudge
Yeah.
holder. So maybe maybe that's part of it, but I for the tying it up in a bow of it all fun.
You're
for,
good. You're good.
for the tying it up in a bow of it all, I appreciate that. And I am happy to see Ty with a happy ending, which at the start of the series was so far out of sight, out of mind, so far left field, would not have seen or imagined Ty meeting essentially the one to get her to act right.
Yeah. Yeah.
and wrap it up. So yeah, shout out to Eva, Big Gal Bean.
Big Gail Bean. Shout out to her. Love that character. One of my favorite one-off characters throughout the entire series. You did mention something I just want to point out. I think they did a really good job of. We only have a couple scenes with Robin Givens,
Mm-hmm.
but we know everything we need to know about her.
For
Right
sure.
in those couple scenes, they did a great job of explaining, so that way some things make a little bit more sense. So the fact that she's a therapist and you know her profession, and you know how much she cares about it because she's told Ty explicitly, I do not appreciate people standing up my daughter. The fact
Mm-hmm.
that she hates everyone, it
Yeah.
makes it puts a lot more emphasis on the fact that she's the one that reached out to Eva and say,
Mm-hmm.
yo, really give her a shot because Ty, if you bullshit me in this car, I'm gonna see right through it.
I'm gonna see right through it.
I'm gonna
Yep.
see right through it, and whatever it was, I really believe you to the point where I'm telling the woman that says I hate everybody that my daughter brings around.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pleading with you, like, and that's probably a good case for her. She probably said that too. I don't even
Yeah.
like people like that. But I'm telling you right now, I spent some time with Ty. She's just in a fucked up place, and I don't
Yeah.
think she's someone to cut loose yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that helps. If moms, if you hear that from somebody, you know, if I recommend something and you know that ain't even me, then you probably like, I bet I know that. Well, maybe not. Our last episode of Culture Garden kind of discussed that, but you get the whole point. So it holds a lot more weight, and obviously it's moms, man. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ty. Shout out to Ty
Shout
getting her
out to
happy
Ty.
ending. Everybody deserves it, and you know, regardless of how fucked up you are, you too can have a good life and find the person of your dreams.
For sure.
Where we slide to next, Rachel?
Let's slide to Angie.
I had a feeling you were gonna say that.
Yeah, because Quinn is my MVP of the final two. So let's slide to Angie.
Nah, Quinn is a fucking G. Like Quinn is. We gotta end with Quinn.
Yeah.
But yeah, Angie. Girls Trip the Musical.
Girls, I want to see Girls Trip the Musical.
Like make it a thing.
I would like to see it. Put this in Booth Playhouse here in Charlotte. I will come. Okay. I will be in the audience without drugs on my booty.
Hey, man, it looks like a good production. The show within the show, like the actual production within the show, I thought was done very well. Like it really, like you said, it's something that I would go. I wouldn't be mad at it. I don't know if I'd be first in line to buy tickets, but if I had a shorty or something said she wanted to go, sure, yeah, I'm not disputing that. I'm not gonna fall back on that. I've seen worse.
For sure. If niggas saw Set It Off the musical, niggas could go see Girls Trip.
Like scrape, click, scrape, click. Hey, shout out to Get Out the musical, man.
Exactly.
I watched that. Now I watched that shit for sure.
See,
shit so fried.
Same.
I'd be high as a motherfucker in there, just getting weak. Like,
Same.
y'all niggas wild.
Shout out to Tracy Oliver and Little Easter Eggs. You know that was her behind Camille in the theater. So a shout out to that. My girl Angie, I told y'all niggas.
Y'all ain't want to hear me, but I told y'all niggas.
I told y'all that Angie and Mike were not getting married.
You said it, man. And I should have seen it. It's so obvious when you watch the episode, but I didn't think Mike was gonna bitch up like that. Mike a fucking sucker.
Listen, I knew that they were not, and I knew that Mike was a sucker. I thought he may be. I thought that maybe it was an issue of class.
Nigga was figure skating, man. It's definitely a class thing.
I thought it might be a class issue, more of a class than less. Where's my mind? Than Mike being controlling and jealous.
That's what it was.
I didn't see that part.
And I'm trying to be better.
I did because he threw
I'm trying to be.
Go ahead.
Right. I'm trying to be better. Let me not call Mike a sucker because he wants to live his life a different way than I think is correct.
Okay.
Live your life how you see, Mike. I'm trying to grow a little bit in that area.
There we go.
Sucker behavior, that's different. I'm not calling you a sucker, but there's some shit that I just think is sucker behavior. Listen, if you feel that your marriage and your wife was going to be someone who just serves you and is always there for you and accommodates to your every need in that way, then by all means, get what you want.
Yeah.
Right? Get what you want. And my issue is, when you met Angie, she was down and out. She was still on Quinn's couch. She didn't really have much. She was getting bad news about her career, just really trying to figure out what it is that she wants to do. And I think we all reached that point where it's just like, damn, what the fuck? Like my dream and my passion that I want to, it feels like it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
Right. And that can get you down and out, especially when you care about something as much as Angie cares about her art, her singing and performance. Mike appreciated that and said, all right, cool. You got a little hobby. That was her version of like being on the board of a nonprofit to him.
Yeah.
Like this is something to do. It's not real work. Just kind of, you can tell people.
Around the house.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You could tell people, you can make yourself feel important by telling people I've been doing this and that. It was a plaything. It was a plaything to Mike. Like that wasn't anything serious. But once you find out, like, no, actually, this is something I would love to do. I'm not going to.
It's my passion.
It's my passion. I think Angie said it specifically. It's my purpose.
It's my purpose.
Like, my nigga, this is why I'm here on this earth.
Yeah.
So for you to think that I'm just going to put it away, Okay, cool. If you want to think that at the beginning, but now that you know that's not the case, that's when you have, once again, similar to Ty, have that conversation up front. Mike, what were your clear expectations? And to your point, Rachel, earlier, it's crazy we didn't see. I didn't see this. I won't say we because you did. Crazy I
Mhm.
didn't see this because Mike never really did. It doesn't seem like they asked any of the right questions. Now that was very aware in the first couple of episodes where we were like,
Yeah.
this is some shit they should have talked about. But
Uh-huh.
I think Mike was just on some. She wants to be kept. I have no problem keeping her,
Yeah.
and we're just gonna make a roll like that. But I think Mike might have a little bit of maybe he's jealous. Like niggas are jealous of their girls. I think that's a real thing that's not talked about enough. Niggas are definitely jealous of their girls,
For
envious.
sure.
I know some dope ass women, like some
Mm.
dope ass women that are
Mhm.
cool friends, and they'll tell me stories about niggas like they might have a nice crib or something like that, and niggas will act like dickheads and be mean to them
Oh, yeah, for
because they
sure,
have things that they don't have. And I just
for
never
sure.
thought of it like that, but they tell me horror stories. I'm like, damn, that's some real sucker shit. Either way, I'll say all that to say, Mike, let Angie know what you expect your marriage to look like and
Yeah.
what you need from your marriage. Maybe there is some compromising, but when you come down and you kind of put your foot down, like this is it, like I make the decisions here. Like, come on, man, what are we talking about? Like Malcolm Lee came up and wants me to do a movie,
Mhm.
and you're not even once are you even considering, well, maybe we can do this at, bruh. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
He ain't know who the fuck Malcolm Lee was.
Yeah, I
He
don't
had
know.
no
Yeah.
idea. Oh, yeah, big fan. No, you're not. You don't know. You don't know who that man is. It's unfortunate, and I we knew that there was an underlying something about Mike, but I just didn't the way that he turned up and essentially flipped the script again. I was not I was not expecting it to be like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the ultimatums and all that. Don't hit me
Ultimatum.
with an ultimatum, because bruh, stop.
Yeah, I don't do that to me because I'm going opposite every time.
Yeah.
But we knew that there was a level of disinterest in the musical. But I just really want to know over these 8 months, 10 months of pregnancy, over this last year, what the fuck were y'all talking about? Because it's clear that the right conversations were not happening. You want to get married? Yes. Do you want to stay at home wife? Do you want me to have a career? Hey, I have a passion that I'm pursuing. If and when I blow up, will this present a problem? Do you have an issue sharing the spotlight? Do you use money as a means of control? Do you call me baby girl in front of people that I respect and genuinely admire and want to work with? Pause. I didn't think that the nigga even watched the performance.
Like he was probably just came in at the end and just said, "Oh, great job. Here's your flowers," because that's what I'm supposed to do.
Because that's what I'm supposed to do because that's not no shit he was interested in. I don't want to see a play where drugs is in my booty is the big number. Sounds like some bullshit. Especially since I haven't seen the movie that is based off to get the reference.
Nigga said sound like some bullshit. It does sound like some bullshit. If a nigga, you don't know nothing about it, yeah, I got a solo piece called "Drugs in My Booty." Like what? Um, you just as you were speaking about these
Uh-huh.
conversations that should have been had,
Uh-huh.
I immediately just flashed back to shout out to We Got Y'all coming soon, White Lotus season 3.
Mm-hmm.
Thought about season 1 of White Lotus.
Yeah.
And Rachel and I can't remember my dude that just was a dickhead, man,
Mm-hmm.
the rich spoiled dude.
Yeah.
And Rachel,
I don't know why I
the
want to
woman.
call him Ian, but
It's not Ian, it's something else. And that's really gonna bother me. Either
mm-hmm.
way, it's not a big spoiler because it doesn't really matter too much to the storyline of season 1. It's only 6
Mm-hmm.
episodes of White Lotus. Go check it out. But she's a newlywed. They're newlyweds and they're at Hawaii at this resort. And there's a moment when she just realizes I can't do this. Like, and they're fresh off the wedding. They're on
Yeah.
their honeymoon.
Yeah.
And there's a moment in the hotel room where she's crying and she just kind of has this conversation with him and just says, I can't do like I was at a certain point in my life when I met you I
Mhm.
was unsure about things, didn't really know. And then you came along, and life was like a fairy tale.
Yeah.
Like just going all these places and being introduced to all these new things and this is new
Mhm.
experience that I got caught up in all of it. And I realized because you're wealthy, you have money, I realized I'm lucky. I'm realized that,
Mhm.
if you know about her background, she said, man, I've never had a day where I didn't think about money. Like,
Yeah.
and you can just flaunt it around whenever.
Mhm.
But when she explained it, she was just kind of talking about I was just wrapped up in this big thing and planning this wedding. That's like 5 months I was doing that, and whatever the case was, to the point where you forget to really sit down and have the conversations of, okay, after the wedding's finished, how is this going to work? What does
Yep.
this look like to you on a day to day?
Yep.
You know what
Why
I
is your
mean? Like,
fucking mama showing up?
yeah, like why is your
Mhm.
mama showing up to our honeymoon?
Yeah.
And I think that's the same with Mike. And we said this since episode 1 when Eric was in the room and said, y'all ain't
Mhm.
talking about this. What y'all conversation? You so wrapped up in where to have the venue and the
Yeah.
bachelorette party and everything else and girls trip and all. I get
Mhm.
it. I understand. But at some point you have to. I know people that start couples counseling or marriage counseling before they even get married, just to make sure we're on the same page and we understand what this looks like. Because the last thing you want is to plan your wedding, say your I do's, and on the honeymoon realize like, oh fuck, I can't believe I did this shit.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not what. That's not an ideal situation. Thankfully, Angie and Mike never got to that point, but man, they really did a bad job of making sure they communicated what this looks like.
For
And I
sure.
think Angie, I put that on Mike more than anything.
Mhm.
I don't think Angie really wanted much. She just wanted Mike to be there and support her. And yeah, I get it, Mike. Like I said, there's some things. And the tricky thing about Mike is he's not like the Tyler Perry supervillain where everything's bad about him and you just dislike him. He does some cool shit. Like the whole, listen, I've been trying to take you to this art walk, right?
The haircut alone.
The
Go
haircut
ahead.
alone is wild. I told y'all, man, the haircut alone is wild. Um, but I've been trying to take you to this art walk, and I haven't really made a big deal about it. Like every time you cancel or have something going on,
Mhm.
it doesn't seem like he's been really making it a fuss. I don't like I don't like grown men with shitty behavior, like
Mhm.
who act like children. And I'm not saying you shouldn't feel what you feel.
Yeah.
I just don't mope, bruh. Like as Rachel always like to say, put your shoulders back, nigga. Put your chin up. Stick your chest out. Walk a certain way. Like Mike was really hurt, like on some, oh, you want to go to art walk? Well, I don't really want to go now. But they ended up going and they do the whole scam and steal something, and they're like, nah, and it was real fly how they did it, right? You funny as hell. It was real fly how they did it. He had a commission painting of her, painting of her.
Which
So yeah,
I thought was a jump scare. When I first watched it, but maybe because
no,
my
so did I.
okay.
So did I. So did I. But you have stuff like that, but then it's tied in with all the other nonsense. So
Yeah.
I don't know, Mike, man. Just trying to lead, bro. Like this is your marriage too. Like communicate what you want, communicate what you need. If it doesn't work, then all right, cool. Let's talk
Yeah.
about it. Let's see what extra measures. But the whole my way or the highway route that you're taking, and I get it. I've canceled this, but Angie brought up a good point too. How many times have you left early from drinks or
Mhm.
couldn't do this or couldn't do that? Sometimes I'm going to be wrapped up in my career because this is new for me. It's like, oh, I
Yeah.
said it last week. It'd be different if Angie was just on the job and just a
Mhm.
veteran at this and kind of just, this is what I do. All of this is new. This is all new beginnings for me. Nigga, Malcolm Lee just told me I was dope and wanted me to do a
Yeah.
movie with Stringer Bell. You feel me? Like, what are we talking about? Like, why are you not excited? You can't understand that I'm excited about this. The
Yeah.
fact that I'm even considering, like, I'm getting married in June
Mhm.
should be
Mhm.
enough. Because, nigga, what? This is my break. This is my chance. This is
This
literally
is
every
it.
single day that I've been breathing on this earth. This is what I've been working on. I've been waiting on this conversation to happen
For sure.
ever since I fell in love with the stage, and it's happening right now.
For sure.
And
And
you
I
talking
just
about something
wanna
we ain't got to talk about it at all.
for our non-wire fans, Stringer Bell is
Yeah,
Idris.
yeah. Shout out to Idris Elba. Yeah, Idris Elba. Shout out to the Wire.
Mike gives only child.
100%. 100%.
Mike gives only child, and we know that he doesn't have a good relationship with his family. So the only controversial only children are only redeemable when they have close cousins or neighborhood friends that they grew up with, like brothers and sisters. Only children beyond that get real tricky. They
This is
get
a
real
fact,
tricky.
dog.
I don't have too many of my circle for that very reason, just because it's you've only had to think about you. You are easy and the quickest to take your ball and go. And that is
Mm-hmm.
what we saw Mike trying to do to Angie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you don't want to play? You're not doing this how I want to do it? Oh, okay, game's over. No, baby. It doesn't work like that. I do want to shout out the stealing of the painting because it was a nice callback to their meeting.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful. And you would think that that would have been enough to sort of push us over until we get to the show that he may or may not have attended. And he showed his whole ass, you know? It made me sad because there are conversations. And again, I shouted out Eva, but shout out to Angie for not just wanting a man so bad, not wanting a partner so bad that you are willing to forego your dreams. Because here's the thing, we could still get married. We could have ensured a honeymoon. We can wait. The filming is only 3 weeks. We can push it back. I don't have anything else lined up once this is done. You got some houses to sell. Okay. You only sold one last month. So what's the market doing? You got some time that we can shift our perspectives to make this work. Keep the wedding date. Let's do it. I still have to get out here. I can shake and move. Come with me. But now you in my area and you ain't getting no shine out here. Ain't no real estate for you to buy and talk about this and the third. So you won't, because it doesn't fit the narrative that you have made up in your mind for what our relationship will look like.
Yeah.
Again,
And
conversations.
listen, it gets real tricky when you fall in love with the idea of something versus what it actually
Oh, for
is.
sure. Oh, for
It's
sure.
real tricky, and that's what Mike always did. He always had his life on what this is going to look like. This is
Mhm,
going to look like this, and I'm not willing to adjust when it
mhm.
doesn't because I love this person so much that I can
Yeah.
make sure it doesn't matter what you do as long as this person's with you. And
Mhm.
Mike, I don't think was just on that. He was just controlling and just. I'm glad you're seeing things my way, bro. I ain't even finished saying my piece yet. What are you talking
Not at
about?
all. Not at all.
So yeah, like I said, it's okay to want what you want out of your life
Mhm.
and out of your marriage and relationship. So I don't want to knock Mike for that, but also don't talk to me like I'm a child. Don't give me ultimatums. Don't do any
Yeah.
of that because
Yeah.
that doesn't feel like love. That's not something I'm
Mhm.
signing up for. And my nigga, my life is going good. I don't need you right now. I want you, but I don't really need you. It's easier to navigate by myself, but I'm willing
Yeah.
to put you in here, compromise.
Because
So
I can
yeah,
go
just
back
make
to
sure.
twins.
Yeah, and go back to Queens. At the end of the day, only thing that really matters is just know what it is that you want,
Mhm.
and if that person that you're aligned with wants the same things.
For
Like I
sure.
said, and Mike is just whatever.
Yeah.
But
So
no,
God
yeah,
bless
no,
him
that's
on
what he
his
said, man.
journey.
Yeah, man. Um,
And good luck to
like real
Andy.
quick,
Go ahead.
baby girl in front of Malcolm Lee.
What the fuck is wrong with you? You ain't called me baby girl ever.
That would have upset you.
Why you trying to little bro me in
Yeah,
front of
man.
this big director? You look, I'd knock all this shit over. Are you fucking crazy? Are you fucking crazy?
Oh man.
You're trying to diminish me on the biggest night of my life in front of the person who can change my life. Better than you can by this fucking wedding ring.
Mm-hmm.
But put me in place to be on the path to my purpose. Ooh, alliteration. But
You good? I told you, man. You're really good at this. You're really good at this.
why would you do that? And that nigga said, I'm her fiance. Oh, congrats.
Yeah, nigga. So give a fuck.
I don't care. I appreciate it, and this is to the writing. I also appreciate Malcolm being like, I didn't know what Girls Trip the musical would be like. Because again, it sounds like some bullshit. But
Sound like some bullshit.
we are all pleasantly surprised by it all. And that's the thing. Even with Mike, I know you didn't sit through that whole thing. You couldn't have. You couldn't have
Yeah,
because even the way that he approached her in the I'm about to call it a foyer, but
I was
in
really about to say for you, and not it's not a lobby. It's not the we know y'all know what it
out
is.
there,
Yeah,
you know, it didn't give wow, I'm so proud. Like, wow, you really did that shit. I didn't get it, but you did that. It was none of that. So that's how I
that's what
know he didn't
that
watch it. So there is no you have no redeemable qualities at this current juncture.
you,
And then you trying to play me?
you took the
This
words
ain't
right
even
out of my mouth.
that ain't even the
I was just gonna
dynamic of our relationship. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say you took the words out of my mouth in regard to there was nothing about you. Yeah, you brought me flowers, but there was nothing about you that felt like you were proud of me for what I did
Mhm.
and what I accomplished. Like you
Mhm.
have, once again, you pointed out, Rachel. He don't know who Malcolm Lee is, but you do know from my excitement and from the introduction from our
Mhm.
director that he's a
Yep.
big time film director. He said I didn't think this could work.
Mhm.
Not to mention the character you playing had a high bar and
Mhm.
you exceeded expectations. That alone, you don't have to understand what your fuck partner, fuck relationship, friends, it could be whatever, somebody you care about. You might not get it, but when they're recognized for being really good at that shit and you can
Mhm.
see it,
Yep.
like there should be some pride that goes with that. Like, yo, you killed that, you bodied that.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
I'm happy for you. Mike made that shit about him.
Yep.
I'm her fiance.
Congrats.
Didn't say I'm her proud fiance. Like I'm just well, even if that's not your moment, like you can't. That's not your moment right there, right, bruh? Like nice to meet you, pleasure. I'm gonna leave y'all to talk,
That's
y'all
it.
business, babe.
That's
I'm gonna
it.
grab you a drink.
That's it. That
I'll
is
be
what
right back.
support looks like.
I ain't gotta sit here over your shoulder on some
You
what y'all
don't
talking
even
about. Like, nah,
you don't even know what the fuck we talking about. Get your ass
exactly.
on. I'm sure there's a barber in the audience. Go to hair and makeup, get your shit tightened up. You fucking crazy. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, man. Mike just ain't got it. Like I think you summed it up perfectly. Only child, he has all the symptoms. Not
Yeah.
saying only children can't be anti Mike, but he just has all the symptoms for that. So it is
Mm,
what it is. Um, Shout out to Angie for stepping up, putting that ring back, and be like, nah, I'm cool.
period.
Cool on all this. Like I'm cool, man, because I can do bad all by myself.
That
And
I
I'm
can
not doing
do
bad.
that. Yep,
And,
I'm
and, I'm,
doing
and I'm
very
not
good.
doing bad.
I gotta
So
roll with Idris. Shout out to Sherry Shepherd. We did get that final cameo of her mom. So
yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I was wilding for a second. I'm like, is this a flashback? And I'm like, hold on, this is a play. They wear the same outfits.
yeah,
I'm sure this is just another night of the show that her
yeah.
mom came to. I was tripping like, damn, how did she? What you mean you
You
got
got that
Idris
on
outfit? But
again?
it's actually more impressive that they did it in that way, just to show you,
Mhm.
like, yeah, this is
We
still
do
in my
this shit every
same.
night.
We do this shit every night. Like, this is not a joke. Like, this is what we do, man. So shout out to
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
I guess it's time to talk about Camille
Let's talk
and Ian
about
and Portia and the baby
Kenny.
shower and everything else. Um, I'm assuming the baby shower mixed with Ian building the crib and them having a moment, mixed with Coco ICU,
hmm
led to
Beautiful
led
man.
to the tears in the airport. I'm gonna let you go ahead and get into it. What did you think about it? Of course, and this is one thing, and I'm sure you'll mention this as well. Camille did not want a baby shower.
hmm
And at the end of it, when Quinn gave her speech and Camille gave hers, her recognizing the importance of it. And I just thought that was real because there's so many things that I don't want to do.
Yeah.
And after I do them, especially when it comes to community and
hmm
celebrating, like whether it's
hmm
myself or others, you realize, yo, I needed this. I'm glad I did. Like I'm crazy for not wanting to do this.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was really dope. But let's talk about it.
Let's
What
talk
you think
about
about it?
it.
What you think about Camille and everything going on with her these last two episodes?
Yeah. So we find out, Camille is due any day now, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
The baby's looking good. She's in the right position. And Ian is very excited. He is very much proud, Papa. I'm getting the things that I've always wanted.
Mm-hmm.
We had the discussion last week or so, how wherever she was in the pregnancy at that point, of I need a little bit more from you. You got to show up a little bit more. I understand that this is a complicated situation. It's tricky, but we have to find our way back to at least a friendship. And that is what in these last two we saw them do. They came back to the Ian and Camille signs of physical relationship that we have sort of fallen in love with, the jokiness of it, the closeness of it, the intimacy of it all. Here's the thing. To the purpose of building a crib. Also, shout out to Ian getting that minivan. You could have got like an excursion or something. I just don't think y'all needed to have no fucking minivan. Okay.
That's what Camille said too. Like, nigga,
For
minivan.
for one child, you ain't got no soccer team. It might not be too many more. We don't need no minivan now. You could
Right.
you could get a Jeep. Okay.
Hey, man, Ian wanted to go full dad mode.
We could get a 3-row. We could get a Grand Cherokee L. Okay. We don't
Yeah.
need no fucking minivan, but whatever. So the scene at the house where Ian has put the crib together with Lake because she had been asking him, that's quiet time, that's space, that's intimacy. And now you get to feel the baby kick, which I'm assuming for the first time. Because here's the thing on why that was so important. Camille, Ian, and the baby. But here's Portia. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They are trying to maintain and uphold some semblance of boundaries because Ian has not ended his relationship with Portia despite Camille being very pregnant, which okay, I was wrong. Portia clearly knew about the baby. She crazy as fuck for staying along that long, but we'll get to that. Um so because I'm in this relationship, I'm not touching you the way that I probably would touch the woman that's carrying my child
Mm-hmm.
out of respect for the boundaries of her and that you, Camille, have set. So I'm not just walking around with my hand on your stomach. I'm probably not rubbing your feet. You see, Cisco was the first time she got a foot rub at 6 months pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Here's that. So now here we are in my home where we've been many a night
Mm-hmm.
in this quiet space, and baby Harlem is kicking. You want to put your hand here? You want to feel it? Bitch, yes. I've been wanting to feel it.
Straight
I've
up.
been wanting to feel it. I want to know. We might not get this again. I want to
Mm-hmm.
know what that feels like to touch the mother of my child's stomach and feel my child kick. Oh, I'm about to cry. I want to know what that feels like. And so here we are, these two star-crossed lovers who are supposed to be together. Here we are in the intimacy. I'm going to get more comfortable. I'm going to get off this floor onto the bed and lay. You come get in my bed. You haven't been in my bed.
Since Harlem was conceived.
You ain't been in this space that you're so familiar with, this place that feels like a second home to you. And here we are. And here is the closeness. Here is the intimacy of it all. Here is the buildup of 9 months of pregnancy, of uncomfort, but or discomfort, but familiarity, boundaries. But here we are in this space. I'm the closest to you that I've been in months, in the most familiar place, and I can't kiss you. I want to. It's on me. It's the most natural thing. It's hot. We both breathing heavy. You feel it. I feel it. But we can't. Shout out to Camille's restraint. And she said it later. I immediately saw my daughter's face and it made me want to do the right thing. Shout out because I would have fucked my nigga.
If nothing else, listen, it makes perfect sense. If nothing else, if you didn't understand that these two were meant for each other,
Mm-hmm.
you knew watching that scene.
Yeah, for sure.
Nothing to do with physical chemistry or anything like that. It was
Yep.
just all pure love and emotion.
Yep.
Obviously, the intimacy of you're carrying my child and I'm feeling
Mm-hmm.
my daughter kick and all of that, that natural moment. But you just knew either way, like this feels right. Like this
Yeah.
feels it really rewatching that scene this morning. Ian, what the fuck were you doing staying with Portia, my nigga? Like your
Ruining her
girl
life.
pregnant. Like I get it, and I get Ian's. We'll talk about Ian's speech and all that. You know this feels right. You know you've been lying to yourself, bro. Like
Mm-hmm.
don't play around with it. Communicate
Mm-hmm.
that it's cool. Like something, you know what? This life is gonna involve you breaking some people's hearts.
Yeah.
And guess what? Your heart's gonna be broken a couple times as well, and that's just kind of what it is. And that's not even an unreasonable conversation
Mm-hmm.
to have. Like, yo, as you I forget who you said who you quoted, break baby side, baby same thing. It,
TBR.
this was not planned, and I did not plan. As Ian told Portia, I fell for you hard,
Yeah.
but I got a child with a woman. It's not a rando. I love this woman.
Mm-hmm.
I've
Mm-hmm.
been loved, like been about you, still about you.
Mm-hmm.
Why not just say I cannot do this? I know we had plans of our own, but those plans are put on hold because I have to take care of my responsibility. And I know I love this woman. Like there's no reason for us not to be together, not to make this
Yeah.
work. And now I could have been here the whole 9 months instead of trying to play house. And we know Ian didn't plan it. He was already talking to Portia about the embryos once he got the news about Camille being pregnant, but still, I don't know, man. It was just real tricky. Um, let's go ahead and just talk about Portia.
Ugh.
So
Mm.
let me ask you something real quick. First, well, we'll get to the baby shower in a second. But the first time we see Portia was at the baby shower.
Yeah.
Were they overreacting by seeing Portia there with the cake?
No.
They immediately, it wasn't like a what's she doing here? It was like, I'll beat her ass right now.
It's the principal.
I get it. I
It's
get it.
no.
But they
My
went straight
girl.
to 0 to 100.
No, they didn't touch her. We just over here talking shit. It can happen, but no, we're just over here talking shit. No, they didn't overreact at all.
Fair. I guess if
It
I'm
is
looking
what
at
it
it from the other way
is.
around, yeah, I
Yeah.
guess I'm here the other way around. Which I would never be in this situation, but
Never
if
say
I got a
never.
girl pregnant,
Mhm.
yeah, facts. Yeah, never say never, man. She shout out to Brandy. If I was in point taken, point taken, point taken.
Yeah, it's nothing that. And Portia is in fact right. First off, she's right to be irritated. Nigga, I'm a master pastry chef. You got me using one of my old cakes or whatever, or a throwaway cake for your baby mama's fucking baby shower because you fucked up. I have an
Yeah, that's
attitude with
wild.
that. I
That's
have a
wild.
right to be irritated. I can be mad. And I'm going to do it because I love you. And I don't want the bitch not to have no fucking cake at her baby shower. But it has to be perfect because, oh, this bitch making the cake. There is no flaw that can be on it because there can be nothing that you can say about me and what the fuck I be doing.
Don't worry about me. What the fuck I be doing?
I have an
Sure.
attitude. I'm gonna do it. I know they over here talking shit because that's what me and my friends would be doing. That's what I'm doing once I get in the car. Yeah, this nigga got me at this bitch baby shower with a cake and this and the third. I would be irritated. I shout out to her for even doing it, and I
Yeah.
understand why she had to because
Nah, that's
nigga, you could go to Publix and shout out to fucking mom. She the only cake baker in Harlem the day before. Yeah.
hey, it's really wild when you think about it. Like sometimes I think we talked about this last week. The scenes
Mm-hmm.
that you didn't get,
Yeah.
I would have loved to see the phone call of Ian.
Oh
We saw
God.
the text.
Oh
I'd have loved to see
God.
Portia's point of view. Like, nigga, are you fucking tripping?
Nigga,
Are you
is
crazy?
you cool?
Nigga, yeah, are you okay? Do you hear yourself? What you just asked me to do? Like I said, I'm looking at it, and then as we had this conversation, if I flip the
Uh-huh.
roles, I'm thinking to myself, like, you got me fucked up. Like, what? Nigga,
Bruh.
no. Um,
I'm mad as fuck. I obviously I have been Portia. Only I know about that baby. But tricky. To come back after I know that you are somewhere, knowing where you are,
Hmm.
where I deep down feel like you want to be, and you come back into this bed and lie to me.
What did he lie about?
What do you mean?
What did he lie about? He was at Camille's building the crib.
You're lying about this.
Oh, us like this
You're
whole thing.
lying
Like, what
about
are we
this
doing?
whole situation,
Yeah,
this whole
yeah, yeah.
relationship, because again, that is where you want to be. So the shower is over, everything, and we get to Portia and Ian having a long delayed conversation. This is after Portia sees Camille at the
At the doctor.
doctor. Bitch, I'm
Awkward.
going to check on my frozen ass embryos. Here you are, baby arm damn near out. I got to look at you. I got to look at you bellied out by my, that's such a Toledo term, bellied out by my man, even though
Mm.
he was yours first, even though he really is your nigga and I'm just in the way. Um, I got to see that. And I'm faced with, this is the reality of the situation. When we stepped into the doctor's office that day, many a day after the successful transfer of the semen and the embryos are completed, we were ready to go. Think about this. She was ready to be pregnant the next month.
Yeah,
I'm
she was
ready
ready.
for implantation. And you mean to tell me, good 30 something single black man with no children, that the plans that we have made and the life that we have created is on hold because you got a baby with your other bitch? With your old, not even other, your old bitch, but not that old, because clearly we was still fucking and she was very much pregnant when I got with you. You got me fucked up.
I will say this. Everything you said was absolutely right. Just a real quick sidebar.
Uh-huh.
We talked about the scene with Ian and Camille
Mm-hmm.
in episode 5. If you were ever on the fence, if a nigga still fucks his baby mom, or baby mom, or a woman still fucking her baby dad, that scene lets you know it's deeper than rap.
But they wasn't fucking. It's
They
definitely
weren't.
deeper than rap.
They weren't. But that's because they had restraint.
Mm-hmm.
After that baby was gone, after that baby, listen, if Harlem was already here
Yeah.
and they had that moment, Camille would have said, "What, nigga? Let's get this shit cracking."
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't even think it means anything. I just think it's a territory type of thing. I just think it's
Mm-hmm.
one of those like I have access to this whenever I want. I think people grow out of it. Don't get me wrong. I don't think people
Yeah.
do it all the time. I know there's people who aren't with the person they had a child with and probably never slept with them again, or they might have a little small spell where we were still sleeping together. And then you
Mm-hmm.
want to do your life, whatever. But either way, it's just one of those things where I'm like, damn, they right the whole time. They right. He was over there at 3 a.m. And the good news, like not just the good news, but the real thing was he actually wasn't. He actually wasn't fucking. It was a very just intimate, sweet
But he
moment.
would have. If Camille didn't stop it, he would
What?
have.
What? Nigga, his dick probably off. It was probably out off camera. Ready. Let's get it. Um, we talked about Portia and the breakup with Ian. I,
Yeah.
Portia said some real shit, man.
She
I saw
did.
a
That's
future. I
her.
saw a future with you that didn't involve me being the side, you having a whole nother baby. Like I said, it's cool to talk about something and say I'm cool with this in the moment. I'm sure when Ian, once again, we didn't get the scene. Sure, when Ian told Portia about Camille being pregnant, in
I
her
would
head,
love
she's like, you
that.
know what? I want to make this work. I can see it. But when you see it with your own, so when you bump into Camille at the doctor, when you realize like this is your life now,
Yep.
like this
The
is a
bitch is never
newborn,
going away.
never. A newborn like this, you're going to be dedicated. There's going to be moments where I'm with you. We having dinner or we're celebrating something. I need you to be here for me because you're
Yeah.
also a chef. You might not be a pastry chef. We might be doing something.
Yep.
And then that turns into, oh, I got to do this for the baby, do that. That's annoying to some people. As fucked up as that might sound, that can be
Yeah, for
annoying.
sure.
So I definitely understand it.
Here's the thing. You can no longer show up for me in the capacity that I need you to because you have other obligations.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot just go on vacation because now you have to consider this child
Yep.
and their
Everything is
needs.
consideration.
We okay, we had three embryos or whatever, three boys or two boys and a girl, whatever the breakdown was. So we went for planning for five. Now we got to plan for six because we can't leave this baby out.
Yeah, you can't leave Harlem out of Disney World trips and all that shit.
That's it. None of that was in the plan. And that's why
That's
niggas
fucked
should have
up.
broke the fuck up. But
Yeah, man, you can't be the. That's you know what that reminds me of. I'm sorry to cut you off, Rachel. That
what?
reminds me of the. I remember a couple years ago it went viral where the woman got mad because the dude brought his kid to McDonald's and the other kid he didn't bring them no food.
Mm-hmm. You agree
Whatever.
with that
That's
person.
yeah. That's a whole different conversation. But
Mm-hmm.
those are the decisions you have to start thinking about. Like, what does this
Yeah.
look like now? Because you can I leave? If we taking our kids, we got to take her. Or that's some real shit. And this is coming from someone who has whose parents had
Yeah.
kids
Mm-hmm.
before me, right? So
Mm-hmm.
my mom and my dad both had a daughter
Yeah.
before they had me. So I got two sisters, and that's something they had to work out. So there was
Mm-hmm.
times when my dad's daughter, Carlin, she didn't live
Mm-hmm.
with us or my
Yeah.
parents. She lived with her mom. I remember being a kid, going over, taking her out to breakfast, or just having family trips where hey, we
Mm-hmm.
going to Kings Island, which is an amusement park near Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Carlin coming too. We going on vacation. Carlin, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just it has to be. It's
You
considered,
gotta do
and
it.
I
Yeah.
know that this was even more tricky because my sisters were already
They
six,
were
seven,
already in
however.
the
With my
picture.
parents, yeah, this ain't no
Mm-hmm.
newborn. I'm watching. I'm looking at you pregnant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With my dude's child. Like that's a
Yeah.
whole different situation. Like I said, when you see it, it's wild as fuck. Like I
Mm-hmm.
said, Portia was saying some real shit. The future I saw with you, I wasn't aside. And because of everything that happened with Mira, because of his talks with Aunt Tammy, I didn't want to just walk out on you. And I get that. I know sometimes we want to, for the sake of being a better person and changing bad habits, we tend to do things that just aren't right for us. Just to prove
Yeah.
to ourselves we can do it. This ain't the situation to stick around for, bro. You got a bigger responsibility, and you know you love this woman. Like it's not fair to Portia.
Yeah.
But I feel it also. I do understand, Ian. I promise you something, and I want to fulfill that promise because I really meant it. I just didn't know all this other shit was around, and that complex of I don't want to always run out on the things that's in my life, bro. We talking about life. We talking about children. Like this is something you just gotta be upfront and honest with.
For sure.
Um, don't be with me out of some misplaced sense of duty.
Yeah.
Is what Portia said, which is probably one of the bars of the last two
For
episodes.
sure. For
Your
sure.
misplaced sense of duty is the only reason you're trying to stick it out, nigga. That's not enough. And nigga, I don't need you to have these kids.
Shout out to her for not using all of her eggs on that nigga.
Don't put all the definition
Don't
of
put all
not putting
your
all
eggs
your
in
eggs
one
in one basket. The
basket.
literal definition.
And shout out to Doc because she knew not just because she was working with both Camille and Portia, because at the time we didn't know that there was correlation, but just because we know how niggas nig, baby, don't do that. Not all of them. One or two, maybe even three.
It's hey, Rachel. It's Super Bowl Sunday. Kendrick said it best. Stick to one woman. Everything's tricky these days.
That's
You know what I
it.
mean? It's tricky.
That's
It's tricky
it.
outside. Keep your options open.
No. I appreciated that. And I appreciated Portia for finally standing her ground, and making Ian say the hard thing, or at least finally confronting him with, because my question would have been this whole pregnancy, because Camille's not a random. She's not some fly by night ass bitch. She is somebody who you have been with essentially your whole adult lives, in and out of each other, with breakup to makeup. Do you still love her? The only reason y'all are not together is because she didn't know if she wanted to be a parent.
Mm-hmm.
Now here she is pregnant. Not with anybody's child, with yours. The person that she has loved her whole adult life. What does that look like for you. Yep, we did make some plans. However, there's a monkey wrench that has been thrown.
Yep.
Tell me what the fuck it is that you actually want me to do. I would have loved that scene from them. And I also would have loved Aunt Tammy in the background of said conversation and whatever developed from that between Ian and
Mm-hmm.
Portia. Oh God, I would have loved that just
Hey, man.
because of the sage she's been
Tell
throughout
you,
this
said
series.
every time I think Ian and Camille can't get messy here, just they turn me into a damn liar.
Here they go with some bullshit.
Like with the bullshit. Like, come on, y'all. Like, you got your baby, you got your girl at your baby mama's baby shower.
Mm,
Only one that bakes cake in Harlem, huh? Whatever. Um, no,
mm.
you're absolutely right. All of that was necessary. It's kind of similar to what I said about Mike and Angie. These are
Yeah,
just conversations you need to have. Like, you need to really sit down and say, what does this look like?
yeah.
And be honest about it and see if you can navigate it. Obviously, Camille turns in her book as well.
It's
And your
good.
story is a love story. It's really
Hmm.
good. You know, your story is a love story. Sometimes it's hard to see when you're in it
For sure.
how good things actually are, and just that confirmation. And then obviously the happy ending as we talk with Camille. Harlem arrives, the girls are there, Ian's there.
Big ass baby. That's the thing that bothers me. It wasn't no newborns.
Right,
This baby
right.
is
Nah, they
4
was like,
months old.
they definitely had the big ass baby. And
Uh-huh,
Ian, how it should have ended, right? This is
for
the
sure.
this is the I'm sorry, man. I can't help but to think about Ja, you know what I mean? Elijah.
Mhm.
Instead of going with the new chick, he stayed with the one. They had
Yeah.
their own family, man. Shout out to my dog Lawrence, man. Out here making shit work, man.
Hmm.
Lawrence kept shit playing, man. Lawrence got his girl and his baby. What's up? My dog, man. Shout out to Lawrence. Everybody in the Lawrence house, stand up. Um,
I'm remaining seated.
Quinn, Quinn, did you have
Oh,
anything else to say
before
about
we
Cammy
get to
before we
Quinn,
move on,
I just
Quinn?
want to say I hope that Aunt Tammy and Ian saged that house before Camille and Harlem moved in because I also just don't appreciate you just moving motherfuckers in and out this house.
I will say
Sarah,
that's
Portia,
something. Mary didn't live there though. She was going to.
he was moving in.
Yeah, she was. Either way, you're right. Somebody did. Whether it's one of the girls, somebody
Mhm.
told her we gotta save this shit. Don't just
Yeah,
we gotta get
you
Portia
got
up
to
out of
clear the
here.
energy.
The whole nine. The whole nine, man. Shout out to the come up, man. No more rent control.
Mm, mm,
Straight
mm.
up crib, nice little brownstone in
Shout out
Harlem.
to the
That's a come up.
brownstone.
That's a come up, man. Shout out to moms for retiring. Shout out to not selling grandma's house. You know what I mean? As they
That's
say.
it. That's it.
Um. All right, Quinn, the MVP, your MVP, Rachel. Let's hear
My
it.
MVP, first off, and I think we said it last week, Quinn has had the best character arc essentially of the 3 seasons. I was nervous for my girl. After the Seth ethical non monogamy of it all, I didn't know how she was going to fare. I was worried that she hadn't quote unquote grown enough to take this shit on the chin. And I didn't want her to be crying in the shower, like sitting on the floor.
Yeah, that was rough. That was a rough scene. When I rewatched
Season
season
two.
2, I'm like, that was
Uh-huh.
still rough to watch. Like, fuck.
My girl was down bad. But we see Quinn has just grown and blossomed beautifully, able to decide what is and isn't for her, not shirking the responsibility or the desire to to experience motherhood despite the tricky situations around her, to still be open to love. Shout out to Isabella. Um and showing up for her friends in a way. We knew that Camille showed up for Angie, quote unquote, and we knew that she was the mom of the group, but it just looked a little different in these last two. Um, there was a softness, I think, to that support. It was firm, but soft and beautiful in a way that I don't think had been displayed in the first 2 seasons. And so I just want to shout out my girl Quinn, the friend of the group. She is the one.
It's funny that you say that because literally this morning,
Mm-hmm.
one of the questions that I was going to ask you was, who was the best friend out of this group?
Quinn,
And
hands
it was
down.
inspired. It was inspired by watching Quinn,
Mm-hmm.
specifically the baby shower, putting everything together, but not because it's that moment, because that's a Quinn thing to do. Like, we're
Yeah,
going to celebrate you. We're going to make sure you're good. Even the awareness of, is everything okay with you and Seth? And like, you know what? This ain't about me.
not
This ain't
today.
about Seth. This ain't about your writing. This is about you, your baby, everything else. That's difficult to put
For
yourself
sure.
behind. It's like, you know what? Let's make sure we keep the main thing the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
Quinn is incredible. And she kind of embodies what that type of friend is. Like, so you put yourself to the back so many times
Mm-hmm.
that everything else does kind of weigh on you. And we saw in
Yeah.
earlier seasons where nobody was paying her attention because they felt, oh, you the rich girl, you got the money,
Mm-hmm.
like you don't have any real problems. And this whole time she's depressed as shit
Yeah.
in the shower with the clothes on in the shower,
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
down bad,
Down bad.
missing your people's gala, everything else. But Quinn is a friend that everybody wants, and you not only you want to have in your life, but you badly want to check in on them too and make sure they're
Yeah,
good and go even harder for them and celebrate them because they deserve all of the good things. And she, more than anyone out of the group, deserved the happy ending.
for sure.
And even though it wasn't the most clear, it was because she reached a point where, I'm putting myself first, and
Mm-hmm.
there's some things that I know that I want in my life that I'm not going to compromise on. She had the conversation that we just talked about. Ian and Camille should have had. Mike and Eddie should have had.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, E&M, it's a thing.
Yeah.
Ethically non-monogamous.
I
Quinn,
I'm not mad at it.
yeah. So I was gonna say. So when Seth talks to her about it, she does the thing of, before I just outright say no, let me at least
Let me
see
see.
what's going on.
Yep.
Let me get all the. I personally like to be in the information business. Let me get all the
Mm-hmm.
information and make my own conclusion once I have it.
Mm-hmm.
Right, from
Mm-hmm.
all sides. Seth keeps it a buck. You said when we first met that you wanted something casual. Quinn said, "Nigga, that was 5 months ago. Here we are. Like we in ebony photo shoots.
Yep.
Like things have changed." The nigga said, "I have the capacity to love more than one person at a time." Rachel, I gotta ask you, and he
Yeah.
made a good point, which you're not limited in friendships, are you? You have more than one friend, more than one close friendship. Why is romance the exception? Rachel, you think you could be in an E&M relationship? On the
Possibly.
surface. On the
On
surface.
the surface, now which party am I?
You the main character. You the main character. So you the main partner.
Oh,
You could you wouldn't want to be the main. You would be the.
I not was saying I was Seth, but kidding, just
Shit.
kidding.
Oh man. Well played. All right, touche. Touche, my nigga,
um,
touche.
um, here's the thing. On its surface, maybe it was good for the goose.
Hey,
Not to be good for the gander.
if a nigga say you like this $8 million property, I'll put it in your name today. I think you take some
I'm sure.
consideration. Not you in particularly, but I'm talking about Quinn. Like
No,
it's
me.
easier to consider these things when you have that offer. She said, no, me. When you have those things to offer. No
Yeah.
different. Once again, we talked about run the world.
Mm-hmm.
When the nigga pull up in the big dog jet, niggas, what? We can go anywhere. You want to go to Cuba right now? We can get some cigars. You know what I mean?
Okay.
We can all of that. Anything you want to do.
For sure. I mean, it's considerable. I might play along until I get tired of it, which I think you would. Because and I say that all the time. You doing some bullshit over here when it's some shit that I need done. You taking this bitch on a picnic, nigga. These light bulbs need to be changed. What are you doing?
So that's what I was going to ask you. So it's one thing when, and it's funny because Aunt Tammy and Quinn's mom even had the conversation. Back in the day, a respectable man Had one woman on the east side, another one in Jersey.
Yeah.
You know, it's just kind of got to
Mm-hmm.
cross those bridges. You know, that's just kind of let you know you a stand up nigga. You going all this way out here, you're taking all this time out of your day just to cheat to make sure I don't find out. How stand up are you? Very quality character of a man.
For
It's
sure.
how the measures that he'll go to cheat and not hurt you. I'm talking shit, by the way, a little bit. With this one, I might feel more comfortable if I know y'all just fucking. The fact that you going on picnic dates and shit, that might make me a little bit uneasy. Like, you know what I mean?
That part. And don't call my fucking nigga babe in front of me. I throat
That's
chop
both.
you.
Shout out to Hove, man. You share that girl.
Yeah.
Nigga.
Okay.
Is that that you share that nigga?
It was.
Hold on. I'm sorry, Rachel. I gotta say this because this shit had me weak. Not only calling him babe, not the kisses. She starts off the conversation. That's the varsity dick right there.
Dick.
Let me say, I don't think I've ever heard that term. I hope all the group chats. I've heard all the group chats are referring to me in that manner. That's all I want to say. So, you know what I mean? When the ladies set their group chats up, I just hope it's some varsity dick, the letter jacket. Yeah, just put an image of a letter jacket. When I send this, you know what it means. The Letterman jacket. Yeah.
Shout out to Big fucking Rich over here.
I like that, man. Varsity. I like that. You know what I mean? Get all the scriptures right.
Big Daddy. Okay.
I'm just saying it's nice. It will be nice. That's all I'm saying. It will be nice.
For sure. Because the group chats can be brutal.
Group chats.
Yeah, they can be brutal. Here's the thing. Sabrina ass pissed me off. And I think had she not have been so extra, I think that Quinn might have given it even more of a little, just a tinge more of some.
You think she was being extra?
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure.
In the approach,
she is in the approach, bitch. I just met you. You're way too comfortable. I understand that we are sharing this man, but you don't know me.
Very invasive.
My personality does not even vibe whatever it is that you got going on. So I think that there was a way where we can have a conversation. Like this is who you are, cool. But the way in which she approached it, I didn't care for. And Seth told her to behave. So I don't. If this is to tame down Sabrina, absolutely not. You can't be by me. You can't give me that. And also send me some selfies, or Seth showed me selfies from your party. I didn't like that. And I appreciate Seth being honest.
You know, like being discussed when you're not aware that you're being discussed.
Yeah, because you ain't showing me selfies. I don't even know this bitch exists. I don't know nothing about it. What are we doing here?
And what are y'all talking about?
And what are y'all talking about?
Like, it's just weird. It's just a weird thing. Let's keep it separate. We know we exist. We know what roles each other play, and I think we should leave it at that. I don't want to be. If I'm one of which, once again, we'll let that shit happen to me though. But if I happen to be Quinn or Sabrina,
yeah,
right, and I agree to be the non-Seth of it all, and kind of being willing to share. I don't give a fuck about what y'all niggas did today.
I do not care.
I don't give a fuck what y'all do tomorrow, next week, anything. Like, I care about what we got going on. I just couldn't listen. Shout out to anybody that can make it work. I couldn't see it, man. It's just too many things. My ego's too big for that shit.
Let me ask you, because for me, I feel like it's a little bit of some confusion. Sabrina made it seem like Seth is her man, despite it being a funny little situation.
He is.
Seth made it seem like she a chick that I fuck with, that she can pick up and go because her life is easy. It didn't give the same thing that Sabrina was given. Did I imagine that, or you felt like him and Sabrina is on the same page?
They're on the same page. That's her partner. That's his place. He introduced, or not introduced, but when he told Quinn, Sabrina's my partner. Like, that is something that works for him. Does he care about? He cares about Quinn a lot more than Sabrina.
Yeah,
but he's not about to let Sabrina go. Yeah, about to say he's not about to let her go. I didn't think anything I think they're on the same page. I think they know exactly what works for them. I think that Sabrina knows that they'll never be anything more than this. It'll never be a serious thing. See, here's what I think about in those moments. I always think about the breakup.
Mm-hmm.
What happens when I want something more? Like it's always going to end like that. If I can't have you fully, and I
Yeah.
understand, Quinn, you're giving me everything I want, but monogamy. I want that monogamy. I want to know that you are mine, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Um, even though you don't possess people, you experience them. Shout out to Lauren London, but it's to be on the same page and to make sure like this lifestyle that I'm being given
Mm-hmm.
from you, Seth. What happens if one day you wake up and say, "Oh, I want to marry somebody," or "I want to do this or do that"? Like then it's gone from me. Like how does that work? How does that look? It's just
Yeah.
too tricky. It's just too many things, too many factors. And I think one of the most important things in this whole conversation, Sabrina looking at Quinn like you knew. You're the new one. I've been here, so I'm the one laying down the rule. This is
Mm-hmm.
what I need from you.
Yeah.
I
Ugh.
get tested monthly. I need your results. If you decide to be with outside people, I need to know who they are and what you're doing with them sexually. Very invasive, very. I'm the same as Quinn. Let me stop you right there. We ain't got to do none of this shit because I'm out.
I'm done with it.
Man, you ain't got
I'm
to worry
done with
about me. You ain't got to worry about me. But I also get Sabrina being like, all right, cool. Sabrina played it. All right, this is what it is. Like, you will never. I would have liked to see how the primary partner thing worked out and what that looks like. What's so different for Quinn compared to Sabrina? Is Sabrina being offered the $8 million homes? I'm sure not.
it.
But she's
No.
got something. Seth is doing something for her.
She probably
He's
got a
taking
little townhouse somewhere. Little, I got a little
niggas,
townhouse. She probably got a little
niggas,
townhouse somewhere, you know.
niggas love putting the chicks in the townhouse. You know what I mean?
Like, um,
Where does she live? Is she in New York?
I don't think so.
I'm assuming. I don't know.
She might be
Because
in
he said, remember, he
Georgia.
said, I don't know. Remember, because he said my flight lands.
Yeah,
He might
somewhere.
have flew her up and just say, hey, come meet Quinn. Because I can be on the road, which is a real thing. I'm on the road
Mhm.
half the year. Like you
And
have a
she can
life.
pick
It's
up
actually
and
was
go.
was actually as fucked up as it sounds. It's actually respectable to say. Like, nigga, I don't want to take you away from the shit you got going on. You quit motherfucking Joseph. You a stylist. I don't expect you to, drop what you're doing while you working on this project to come, break a nigga off while I'm in fucking Salt Lake City. Or Utah doesn't have a baseball team. When I'm in fucking Anaheim, or whatever the case may be. I need you to come on this 4-hour flight on a whim and take care of my needs.
Nigga better get on
Sabrina can do that.
FaceTime.
Nah, Sabrina can do that right here. But the relationship part of it is what's tricky. Like you are
Yeah.
in a real relationship. It made it seem like it was just on some, she around. Nah, y'all niggas going on dates,
That
picnic dates,
that
all that
is
shit.
my
Picnic, you know how
thing.
intimate a picnic date is?
That was my thing. See, like it's you made it seem like she around, she can pick up and go, she a little fun, da 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 da. Which, yeah, she very clearly is a fun girl. But when we meet Sabrina, it's a little bit more to it. It's not just she in the hotel when I get there. No, this bitch gets a picnic too. This bitch gets shopping on. She might not get Rodeo, but she can damn sure go to Atlanta and tear
Terror of Lennox.
Linux. It's I was trying to think of the other little strip with all the little bougie stores.
They got them a bucket and all that shit. Well, I don't even know there's strips over there, but there's an
I
area
don't
that I
know.
was in Atlanta recently, and it was
Mhm.
just real nice and black,
Yeah,
which is what a lot of Atlanta is. But nah, that's a great point. I don't know, man. It's
tricky.
it's really tricky, but Quinn realized, and I think that's the most important thing for
Mhm.
her character. I'm very sure of who I am and what I
Yeah,
want and what I don't want. This seems like a fairy tale. It's real. I saw it. I did the old Quinn thing where I envisioned it, but now I'm realizing I'm not that person,
yeah,
and I don't want to get involved in that. So I'm cool.
for sure.
So yeah, shout out to Quinn and maybe some Isabella reunion type things. I don't
Reunion.
know,
Yep.
whatever. Hey, get it how you live, my nigga.
I guess we'll
Um,
never know.
we'll never know. We'll never know. But what we do know, the girls are together.
The
They got
girls
each
are
other's
together.
back.
Yep.
Ian's back with Camille.
Yep.
Harlem is here, and dare I say, Harlem is here to stay.
Harlem is here to stay. I hope that maybe they shop it somewhere else. Um,
I would not mind a year or two off, and then maybe what's going on now. I don't think that's an issue at
Yeah.
all.
Peacock,
Um,
they good
Peacock,
for a pickup, you know.
hey, shout out to Peacock, man. Please do that. Yeah, Peacock picked up the Dirty D off Tubi, man. So if y'all picking up the Dirty D, man, please pick up Harlem. Rachel.
Um, yeah, hold on. Just before we go, we didn't talk about. I just wanted to shout out Dr. Pruitt again, showing up with a beautiful
Hmm.
gift. Shout out to Whoopi Goldberg, um, Jasmine Guy. I think those were the other two cameos we didn't actually mention in this.
Yeah, man. And I didn't mention this also, but real quick, just I'm glad we got that last. Um, I'm glad we got that last Quinn Angie scene when
Mm-hmm.
Angie was unsure of herself.
Yeah.
Obviously, the girls were there, but
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was very fitting that Quinn was the one that went back there and talked to Angie after everything that we've seen them go through.
For sure.
And while Rachel and myself always have the conversation about friend groups,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes there are friends in the groups that you don't hang out one on one. This isn't one of those groups. They all can hang out one on one,
Yeah.
but you still identify the important relationships
Mm-hmm.
within them. And I thought that was a real telling moment. So, Rachel, as you said, shout out to Tracy Oliver,
For
creator,
sure.
Megan Good, Jerry Johnson,
Yeah.
Shaniqua Shonday,
Mm-hmm.
Quinn Byers,
Grace Byers.
Grace Byers. Why did I say Quinn Byers? Grace Byers,
Mhm.
Tyler Lepley,
Yeah.
Whoopi Goldberg,
Mm-hmm.
Jasmine Guy, Debbie Smith. Like, job well done.
For sure.
Job well done. Great storytelling. Um, Great experience. Another thing to add to the list of just great Black shows that we can just go back and revisit and learn things and have good conversation. And last but not least, man, Rachel, Ray P, man, shout out to you, man.
Shout
Appreciate
out to
you for
you.
being able to have these conversations. You know how much I enjoy all of our talks, whether they're on camera, off camera, but being able to just really take some art form and have these conversations with you is really a joy of something I get to do weekly, and I'm very appreciative of it. And yeah, that's another one in the books, man. Another showdown. We got Harlem out the way.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody, and then as we mentioned, don't leave this feed. We'll be taking a week off because there is nothing to talk about. But right after that, we'll be talking about White Lotus season 3, which streams on Max.
Yeah.
We'll start having those episodes start coming out. That's about it. That's about it for me, man. We appreciate all y'all. Rachel, I don't know if you got anything.
Shout out to what is that? They're in Thailand for season 3 of White Lotus, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Shout out to Max. It's a couple things just before we wrap it up. Are y'all watching The Pit on Max? It's so good. It's a medical drama.
Everybody's told me to.
It's so good. And then also Paradise on Hulu/Disney Plus. Sterling K. Brown is killing.
Sterling
Okay.
K. Brown is a G. Like,
Yeah.
he's a G.
Yeah. Shout out to y'all. Kyron, I love you. Thank you so much for these conversations. You are one of my favorite people in the world and one of
Hey,
my favorite people, not one of, and my favorite person to discuss TV with.
yeah,
I love
that's what I'm
you.
talking about.
Period. I love you. I love y'all. Thank you for watching and listening. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. If you have suggestions of shows you would like to see us cover that are in the pipeline, let us know. Reach out via the social media handle. We got y'all pod on Instagram, and then there is also a Gmail. It's in the link. I think it's we got y'all pod at
Yeah.
gmail.com, something like that. Thank y'all. Love y'all. Uh Go Eagles, or what do they say? Fly birds fly.
Yeah. Fly,
All
Eagles,
of
fly,
that.
whatever. Yeah, definitely, man. It's Black History Month.
It's Black History Month. Power to the people. Peace.
No doubt. We out. Harlem Skills. Had to let that